So I'm going to be coming out with a few videos this week explaining how you're able to get a ton of gifts from the new event. However, it might sound a little contradictory because I am going to be coming out with this video and the next video, which will be about Christmas gifts. The economy right now is a little confusing for me at least because I noticed a lot of things during the past few days. It's currently Tuesday, so we had a brand new update recently come out, which is phenomenal, right? We have all of these brand new things. But I also noticed something that was really interesting to me. A lot of the exclusive pets in the game right now are so cheap. I noticed this while I was trying to sell some, but I noticed something even crazier. When I basically went to go look at the exclusives, it didn't make much sense to me at the time. But when you try to go make like a huge machine egg, I noticed that the price of the egg itself basically went down half of its own wrap. It's only worth 185 million gems. And I tried asking around and pretty much nobody had like a solidified answer for me. And everybody started blaming one egg. This exclusive midnight egg. I guess back then, like not too long ago, this egg was basically super discounted to a point where I guess people assumed that it destroyed the exclusive economy, which doesn't really make too much sense to me, at least at the time. But as more and more time passed, a lot of the stuff just kind of started going down. Now, again, do not get me wrong, this is not a bad thing, though this might be a bad thing for others who actually deal in exclusive pets by selling any of these or basically trying to profit from these eggs. That might be a bit of an issue. So if we were to take a look at the huge machine egg number 4, you'll be able to see basically where the drop started. And this was kind of starting around November, near the end of November, and you can kind of notice a dip in just price in trying to basically maintain its valuation. But the more that update started to push out, the less wanted this egg started to become, and it's just been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Like, for me, this is astonishing because I like to pay attention to a lot of stuff in like the market base and seeing how stable a price can maintain itself for like maybe a week or a few days, depending on the item or pet itself. Now, I don't remember when this egg was actually introduced, but when we take a look at the midnight egg itself, the highest it's ever been, at least according to this chart, is the end of November, which was 63 million. Of course, you know, obviously because there was a sale on the egg itself for a limited time, this egg just started to completely dip. I think the lowest that I saw it at was like maybe 30 million. Now, that wasn't a common enough trend for it to maintain 30 million to be actually plastered on here, but obviously as time progressed and the egg was removed, of course, you know, it will go back up to its original value, which was around 55 million. Now, I don't know if this egg was actually the original cause of like this weird baby exclusive pet in deflation, or if something else might have just caused a natural deflation, kind of just like every other huge inside of the game. Pets that you can get from this are obviously the mushroom raccoon, the toucan, the mantis shrimp, the fox, and the raincoat cat, with the exception of the Titanic butterfly. But my biggest question was always, did these pets organically just naturally just go down, or did everybody just kind of panic sell all of these things to the point where they do not have any more value? Obviously, the huge mushroom is worth 23 million gems. The toucan with a whopping 24. The mantis shrimp, which is at 34.9. The fox, which is at a 67.2 million valuation. Your huge umbrella cat, which is at 220 million. And your Titanic butterfly, which is still sitting above 10 billion gems, which at this rate is actually pretty good for our Titanic inside of the game. For it to still maintain this value in this current economy right now is actually really good, surprisingly. If I were to basically come over to the huge machine and decide, oh my gosh, okay, wait a minute, I have, hypothetically speaking, I only have 20, but if I were to have 100, then I would be able to make a egg. So if I were to sacrifice 100 of these, I would be spending around 171 million in just value for these. Now, if I were to go ahead and turn around and sell this means I would have a bit of a wiggle room of around 20 million gems or so. And that's granted if the huge machine egg still maintains this value and if anybody even wants to buy it at its current wrap, which makes sense for this pet. Of course, if we were to go down a pet, which to me didn't really make sense, this is where the confusion started to kick in for me, at least, because for some reason some of the value of these pets are kind of thrown off for me a little bit. So we have this festive Hydra, which is at a 90%, but it does double. So in theory, I would only need to basically have like maybe 85 million in value of these in order for me to make an egg, which is rather confusing to me, at least, because some of the values of the exclusives are thrown off for me for this update. It's kind of crazy to see some auctions go up, and a lot of the exclusives are discounted to where nobody even bids on them. Sometimes I even see them sell for 1 gem, which is insane, until it dawned on me. Obviously, we have a brand new update with an introduction of a brand new pet or gargantuan. Now, of course, this is losing value quickly. Now, for a lot of players out there, gems used to be worth a lot, and we're meaning a lot. Nowadays, I noticed that for a lot of people, gems don't really hold too much value now, and that's primarily because people are insinuating that there's too much things inside of the game, meaning too many huge pets, too many exclusives, too many ways for people to actually get things inside of the game that makes it too easy for players out there. For me, I don't really mind when deflation actually starts. I think it's a really good starting point for a lot of people out there to actually start being able to figure out what they actually want inside of the game. The only thing that is confusing to a lot of people out there that I still do notice actively within the game itself are any golden huges that were purposely inflated. And I do have a video on that, basically explaining how you're able to go ahead and check databases in order to make sure that you do not get scammed, because a lot of the golden pets inside of the game are not actually worth what they are worth. And of course, this includes the huge teacher cat, especially the golden huge spice cat. Any of the new recent added pets that are from any of the updates from the autumn event and especially from the Christmas event, you might want to double check. There are some exceptions in the game currently that you still might have to actually check, like the huge nice cat. Remember, these are rarer pets and exclusively inside of the Christmas rebirth section. This does cost a lot of gems in order to get inside of the event, so remember, sometimes these are worth the gems that you're putting into. However, because there is a bad rap for golden pets, a lot of the times people assume and insinuate that the value of some of these pets are actually not worth that much. Then again, we are talking about a golden pet. If you're trying to invest in something worthwhile, definitely do not get something that is golden. You always want to stick with something that is either rainbow or shiny, especially when it comes to pets. And I only say that with a grain of salt because a lot of the times golden pets just have a bad reputation of essentially just being fake wrapped. Of course, as the game continuously updates and we get new stuff added inside of here, whether we get a brand new gargantuan or a easier way to get a Titanic, I noticed there's a lot of valuation that are just basically not worth as much as it did before. Again, do not take it the wrong way. I absolutely love the fact that everything is losing value so I can go ahead and buy it, and absolutely everybody else can go out into the trade hub and buy things that they really wanted. But I know for a lot of players out there that do play for the economy and basically play for the gems and trading and selling, this might not be a good thing. I'm still trying to figure out where the deflation went for all of these exclusive pets, because it still doesn't add up to me, especially with the huge machine egg and essentially that weird midnight egg. It just doesn't add up. This couldn't actually be the main cause of a humongous deflation for exclusive pets, could it? It's so hard to tell. Even the exclusive snow globe egg has lost absolutely all of its value. And to be quite honest, some of these eggs actually did too. SpongeBob egg used to go for like 100 million and now it's only worth 73. Dude, this is actually crazy. I've never actually paid attention to some of these eggs, but some of these eggs actually lost a lot of value. So that's pretty crazy to me. Any of the eggs for Pet Simulator X, I would say, are out of that equation because we can no longer get those eggs other than actually transfer transferring those over. So I would say that guy just got a shiny rainbow exclusive right in front of my eyes. But I would say exclude those eggs. Those are transferred eggs from a different game, so we can exclude those. I would say to you guys, what do you think ended up happening? Do you think a natural deflation ended up happening because of so many things that are being introduced inside of the game right now? Or do you think everybody just kind of freaked out and started selling everything that they absolutely had to have a chance to get either Titanics or Gargantuans? Until then, I'm going to continue to work on my video on how to get more Gargantuan presents. So again, remember, what I say today might contradict absolutely everything that I talk about in the next video, because I ended up buying 9 billion in value of these gift bags, and some of the value might be off here and there in some clips. Until then, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye everyone!